Do you find yourself constantly jumping in and saving the day with your team, and then wondering why they just can't seem to figure it out for themselves? You hand something off and it comes back wrong, and so then you step back in and you fix it yourself and end up telling your team without ever saying it out loud, that you'll always be better than them. Today, I'm giving you 5 filters to use to figure out what exactly to hand off so you can start delegating more and stop being the bottleneck in your business. So that moment when you decide to just get it done real quick, my way, it feels efficient, and maybe occasionally it is. But as a pattern, it's a really expensive habit in your business. And here's why. Your team is learning something every time this happens. And unfortunately, just not the thing that you want them to learn. What they did wasn't quite good enough. And they're learning that if something gets hard or if they just wait long enough, you'll step in and handle it. So next time they hesitate a little sooner and maybe they try a little less and you step in a little faster because there's been a loss of confidence on both sides. It's a slow cycle, but it compounds, and months later, you're more buried than you were before, even though the business has grown and you have more people around you than ever. And that's the trap. More team, but the same bottleneck. One of the more difficult transitions for entrepreneurs to make is that shift from doing to leading. And this is especially true for founders because you are the expert in your business. According to a Gallup study I read, a full 75% of founders say they struggle to delegate. And conversely, and this really caught my attention, those entrepreneurs who do delegate see significantly more growth, like 33% more growth, than those who don't delegate well. That is a lot of motivation to keep working on delegation. So there are 2 parts to delegation. There's the what to delegate and then the how to delegate. And so today, let's focus in on the what part, because if you don't know what to hand off, the how part doesn't matter yet. So here are the 5 filters. They're super helpful in breaking down and categorizing the different types of work you're doing so that you can start to see it more clearly. Filter 1 is small tasks. These are tasks that feel quick. Registering for a conference, adding a meeting to the calendar, scheduling a social post. Each one takes just a few minutes and sometimes even less. But here's what makes them dangerous. They pull you out of strategic thinking and they multiply. You add one meeting to the calendar and suddenly you are the one coordinating everyone's availability every single week. And these small tasks, they add up. So they belong on someone else's plate, not yours. Filter 2 is tedious tasks. And these are the tasks that are routine, repeatable, and don't require too much judgment. Things like updating the stats in the weekly deck, running the same monthly report, sending the follow-up email after a client call. These are not the best use of your time. If it is the same thing every week or every month, someone else can own it. The third filter is time-consuming tasks. And this is where a lot of founders hesitate because it does require judgment and it feels important, like something I can't just hand off. But here's the question I want to ask you. Does the task require you for all of it, or just the last 20%, or even 10%? Most complex tasks have a research and drafting phase that someone on your team could handle. You step in at the 80% complete and you still give final input and approval, but now you don't have to build the whole thing from scratch every time. Plus, you're empowering your team to take on more and you're developing them. This shift alone can give you hours back every month. Filter number 4 is teachable tasks. And this one feels hard to prioritize because it costs more time up front. But tasks that look complicated are usually made up of smaller steps that can be turned into a repeatable system. So build and document the process once, teach it, and soon the work runs without you or just needs your final input. Filter 5 are tasks you're terrible at, and this one is freeing when you are honest about it. These are tasks where you not only struggle, but they take twice as long as you want them to, and likely you're still getting a result that's not as good as someone who's wired for that work would produce. Think about tech setup when you're not techie, or visual design when you're not visual, or bookkeeping when numbers aren't your zone. Leverage your team and resources. They are your most valuable asset. I'm going to add a bonus filter, because even after you figured out what to hand off and what to delegate next, timing will still test you. So also keep an eye out for time-sensitive tasks that compete with other priorities. So these are tasks that they matter, but they keep landing on your list at the same time everything else does, and there simply isn't enough of you to go around. So figuring out what to delegate is never a one and done kind of exercise. And when this pops up, it could actually be a signal that you need to, relook at your task list again. So here's what I want you to do. Track what you are actually doing. I recommend 2 weeks if you can swing it, because you'll get a truer picture of everything on your plate. Keep a notebook on your desk, or track in your calendar, or even use a time tracking app, whatever works for you. I'm still old school and I like a notebook. Then run your task list through these 5 filters. I promise you, you will find things to delegate. Start with a target of 5 to 10 hours a week. It sounds modest, but handing off even that small amount of work takes the edge off of stuff that keeps pulling you away from leading and growing your business. And remember, the goal isn't to get to 0 on your plate. It's to reclaim enough time and mental space to make better decisions, so you can focus on the work only you can do and build your delegation muscle. Because like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. When you are constantly operating at 100% capacity, there is no room for anything else. Not for new opportunities, not for strategic thinking, not for growth. But the moment you start handing off things, even just a little, your business gets some breathing room. And that's where growth actually happens. If you watched this and thought, I need to do this better, I invite you to schedule an alignment breakthrough session. We'll take a look at your business with your unique team and situation. I spent 25 years inside of organizations, including scaling a company from the ground floor to Inc. 500 recognition with over 45 million in revenue. I know what this stage looks like from the inside, and I know I can help you and your team break through. If you're ready to stop running on fumes, stuck in the weeds of your business, I would love to talk. This channel is built for founders who are ready to structure for growth, the real practical work of building a team that runs well, leading with more clarity, and creating a business that doesn't depend on you for everything, so that you can step into the next level of leadership in your business. I invite you to subscribe and stay around. Thank you for watching. I'm Andrea Almaraz, founder of COO in Your Pocket, and I will see you next time.